Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute since I actually posted. I decided to just zhuzh up and be a little bit more, girly. Oh, there's something in my eye. Yeah, a little bit more girly for today's video. Just felt like dressing up and looking nice, but it does address something that really it does address something that recently came out in the news, and I thought it was my turn to share my story. So yeah, man, if you are from Gqeberha, you'll know that there has been some stories coming out about the public hospital and giving birth, and so I just thought it was a great time for me to share my birth story. It was a bit traumatic. It's not something that I really was open to talk about. The first two births were also public hospital. My first was smooth, it was great, I was in and out. Second stayed a bit longer, but not as intense. But the third time around with my third, wowzers. So yeah, it's me, I'm back, and today I am going to share my birth story, giving birth in a public hospital. Let's do this, guys. Okay, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against public health care. We were in medical aid with my family. We were paying quite a lot, and we decided this is a bit much for us. We'll put, savings aside for when the kids need any health care, doctors and things like that, and then my husband and I would be chilled. So never really had an issue. Like I said, with my first, I gave birth in a public facility. We had just gotten married, we didn't have medical aid, and it was, guys, it was smooth sailing. The treatment was great. I didn't have any horror stories or anything like that. I went in the day before, I gave birth the next day via cesarean. Day 2 I was sent home, so it wasn't as bad. But of course there's COVID and there's everything else. So I went in at the end of September. I can't remember the date. I went in the morning. I was supposed to get there at 6 a.m. I get there and it's full. People are sitting on chairs. Others, they had like these couch recliners that some had slept in that I saw, and I put on a seat and they look at my book, of course, and they see, okay, that the doctor who I saw before, because you have continuous visits at the clinic with the gynaes and things like that, they choose a date for you, they put it down in that book, and then you go off and you go in, and she's like, I can see your date is today, but I'm not sure you're gonna give birth today, which is something I'm used to hearing. It wasn't the first time I was giving birth in a public facility with my son. I did wait a bit long, but I was like, do you know what? I've done this before. I've packed enough. It's fine. I do a COVID test, and I'm negative, and then they tell me to just sit in the chair and just wait for when the day shift comes in, and then they will book us in. So we're sitting there and we're chatting, and I'm chatting with this girl next to me, and I'm just getting to know her. I've always been that person who likes to speak to people, and there's a girl opposite me and looks like she's really like cramping, and I'm not in the, what do they call it? I'm not in the ward. The ward downstairs is for natural birth, labor ward. I'm not in the labor ward. I'm upstairs. I'm in the cesarean ward where it's people who are gonna come get surgery. So there's not much drama there. But anyways, I can see she's cramping. She has cramping pains, and I'm thinking, yo. And she says, yo, hi sana, can't wait to pumelenda pakum. And I laugh, like I'm making a joke. I like to make things light. I'm like, Yo girl, hang in there, you're almost there. You know, it must really be painful if or you're calling your child a thing like uti or whatever, and everyone else laughs around. But yo guys, yo, when the cramps come, man, the things you say, and we're just trying to make it light and happy for her and stuff. But after a while and after chatting, I see that she's quiet. She's not talking to us. She's very pulled back, and I mean, I just met her, but I just felt like, so I just went over to her and I said, listen, I made a joke. I'm sorry if you took it the wrong way. I didn't mean it the way I said it. I was just trying to make everything light. And she's like, no. She stops and she's like, sister, don't worry. You don't need to apologize for anything. It's not you. It's just Imek or the situation that I'm in. And I'm like, oh, okay, no shame, I understand. I've heard cramps are really intense. I haven't gone through the whole labor thing, but I can imagine what you're going through. And she's like, yeah, ne? So I'm like, yeah, okay, hang in there. Ne? If you need water, anything, let me know. I have 2 bottles of water. And she's like, yeah, I should like some water. So I go get 1 bottle and I give it to her. And then a nurse comes and she stops and she's like, ah, guys, social distancing, COVID, whatever. So I understand. So I go back to my seat where there's a space in between. And eventually she walks up to the nurse's area. I'm sitting behind it. My chair's right behind that nurse's reception area. And she's like, Aibo, mitinde yamu. And the nurse gently is like, we're gonna try and make a plan for you, just hang in there. And then eventually she's standing next to me, she has her head down, and you know, it looks like she wants to cry and stuff. And then she turns to me and says, you know, into endibulalayo ngento yonke le nto is that akasekho nalo mntana. I've been here for 2 days. Ndifike apha umntana emesolekile oko ndilinde uba ade akhutshwe. Guys, for me that was the first. I was just gutted. I was so uncomfortable. I don't know why she's here with us, because we're discussing pregnancies, we're discussing births, we're discussing babies we've had. She's been here for 2 days. She's been sleeping on a chair, and yo, that was the first trauma for me. I was just eventually she was taken sometime during the day while I was still on that chair, and I was uncomfortable throughout the entire time she was there. And the nurses come, the next shift comes, and I'm busy talking, and they're having a prayer session. So I was very shouted at for being that rude girl. Guys, I didn't know y'all do this. You know what I mean? So I sat in that chair for the whole day, and they told me not to eat. So the last time I ate was at 8 p.m. Oh, so 3 p.m. comes around and I'm starving. My back is sore. My feet are obviously swollen because I've been sitting on a chair for so long. And I ask, can I eat? And they're like, no, your date says you're giving birth today, so don't even risk it. Don't eat. So I don't eat. Around 5 p.m. I'm like, it's game over. At 6 p.m. the dinner trolley, there's a lady who brings in all the different meals. She comes and I take my meal and I eat my supper, and I'm like, I can't do this, and I eat some of the muffins and things that I brought for myself on the side. And then the nurse makes an announcement around 7 p.m. but there's no beds. So see where you're sitting is where you'll be sleeping. I'll insert a picture. And I'm like, what? I'm asleep on a chair. Like, obviously didn't say that. I was like, so my son, you guys. So I slept on a chair. Around about 9 p.m. Yo, guys, and it's those chairs, ne? I can't put them together because they have armchairs on both ends that are built in. So I couldn't even put 2 together to like try and lie down. So eventually a nurse feels bad for me around 9 p.m. I'm the only one on the chair now. I don't know what happened to the other girl who was with me. Other people got distributed to different places. So she brings me a mattress. It's flat, and she gives me 2 sheets, and she says it's the best I can do for you. So I slept on the floor. Guys, I cried the whole night because it's one of those things of out of all the things I thought I would be going through, I'm sleeping on the floor in a public hospital. And I don't say that in a demeaning way, but in that, life is humbling, hey? Turning was terrible. Obviously, the mattress is flat. It's been slept on by many people before, so it's lost any form of tension. So when you're on it, you on the floor. Getting up to try and go pee at night was absolute torture. And it meant that as soon as 6 a.m. hit, I had to be up and awake and sitting on a chair, because that's when the other people who are admitted are coming in. And obviously they can't come because I've taken over the area where the chairs are. So at 4 a.m. I got up to wash, put the mattress back where it stays. I was told to keep the sheets that I was given, and 3 days on the floor. Day 4 came, and a few people were taken to give birth, and so the recliners, the couch recliners, the nice ones where you like adjust how far down you go, those opened up. So day 4, I got to sleep on a recliner. Luckily, in that afternoon of me being on the recliner around 5 p.m, a bed opened up and a nurse said I must go through. So at least day 4.5 I got a bed. Guys, but note, every day I'm told not to eat because you don't know when your operation will be. I'm allowed to eat between 6 and 8 p.m. After 8 p.m. I can't eat. And at 6 I eat because usually that's when theatre will call and say, we're not taking anyone else, we have too many emergency cases. And so in public hospitals, they work in a triage. They work with the most important high-risk case first, and then they work their way backwards. So if you don't have any underlying conditions or anything like that, and you're just coming in for a C-section, you're going to stay there. I didn't know that. I had no idea. So I know when the nurses would come and they'd bring pills for different people, and they ask me what I'm taking. I'd just be given prenatals. They're like, you don't have high blood, you don't have chronics, you don't have, like, I don't have any condition. So they're like, why are you here? So I'm like, because I just gave birth last year with a C-section, and I'm giving birth again this year. No one will let me try natural, it's too dangerous. So I met amazing ladies when I was there. Yo, guys, it got so bad, the nurse was alone and there was 45 patients, of which 12 had been induced. And 4 of them went into labor while we were there, and she was alone. The other nurses were sick or because of COVID or whatever. She was alone. It was so scary. Yo, the things I saw, some things I can't even talk about because I'm just like, hey. But I've never seen someone give birth naturally. I did at the hospital. People just kept leaving and I'm still here. Day 6 comes and I'm a mess. I'm a mess because the girl who was in front of me, her child passed away while inside her stomach, and she was taken away. And upon delivering the baby, she went into I don't know what, and she was taken to high care. And the nurse came back to tell us that she's not doing well. So already I'm like, someone I was talking to every day, this happened to them. You see things that are just things you don't see normally. So at that state, emotionally, I was just a wreck. I remember calling my husband and I was like, am I being punished? Because at some stage you feel like you're being punished. You witness things, you're there for such a long time, you keep getting told maybe it's you tomorrow, maybe it's you tomorrow, and it's not you. And it's the torture of not eating, literally fasting every day and only eating one meal between 6 and 8 p.m. Day 7 came and I was like, there is no way. So I called my friend, I messaged her and I was like, this is what's happening. I think I messaged like 4 or 5 of my friends and they were like, no, Chumi, this is too much. How can you still be there? And at this stage, I'm already overdue. My baby is way, way overdue. Day 8 comes, I get called into an office with 3 of the heads because a complaint was made to one of the highest people because I've been here for so long. So of course I stated my story, I've been here. And they were a bit annoyed with me, but I explained to them that I have supportive friends. So obviously they know I went into hospital to give birth and I had a whole surprise shower thrown for me. They know I'm here. So naturally they're going to ask what's wrong and what's going on and what's happening. And I'm not being told when I'm on the list. I'm just being told that today you might give birth. Today you might give birth. Today is day 8. I've been here. I've lost 7 kgs since I came here. due to the fasting. You see the nurses are overwhelmed, but a part of you is like, it's unfair that I'm going through this as well, you know. So we had a meeting. They explained everything to me, and what's happening, how they are taking people from all different regions coming into this one hospital, because it's the one that gives emergency C-sections. And so emergencies are coming into the point where they just keep pushing back the line. And for me, I have no underlying conditions. When they look at the triage system, I'm literally at the bottom. I'm a green. If you have a green sticker, I get best believe you are the one they're gonna do last. Red, I get red is high risk. But if you green, it means there is nothing wrong with you. The only thing you've come here to do is give birth. So we have the meeting, and I'm like, guys, I understand, but I've been here for so long. I've seen things happen to other people. I'm scared for my health. I'm scared for my baby. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep quiet about this anymore. It's unfair. People have been sleeping on the floor. One had twins. She was on the floor. Her feet were so swollen. I said I've seen someone not make it. And I know they understand. And she said at meeting, I cried, and they were understanding. And I came back. I feel like I'm literally gonna be be transferred from this ward to the psych ward, because now I'm just paranoid. Nightmares at night are killing me. Day 8 comes. I'm told, okay, they made a plan. Don't worry, you're on the list. Just hold on. Day 9 comes. 7 p.m. they get the call to get me ready. I'm going into theater. The doctor says by 11 p.m. she'll do me. Doctor calls and says, no, I just looked through this patient. There's nothing wrong with her. There's no way I'm gonna do her when there's someone else who's a high risk who should be done. Guys, for a catheter and everything to be removed, drips, everything removed, because now I'm no longer high risk. So I call my friend, and then I'm like, girl, let's report this again. So she reported, and of course, day 10, guys, day 10 at around 9 a.m. I'm finally wheeled off to give birth to my baby girl. I go off to aftercare. They were really nice to me afterwards. I got my own private room. I think because I was the one who didn't have any complications. I had the cesarean done. I asked for them to ligate me. I'll do a separate video explaining what ligation is and what form I've used. I'm done having kids. And I went home after 13 days of being in hospital. Guys, for me, it was the showers. The showers had dry blood. Like, whoever was in there had something happen. The blood dried. It was never cleaned. So you literally, like, I call it the sign of the cross. You make the sign of the cross every day. Okay, on day 3 or 4, you decide, hey, but everything you're washing in the sink. Because the shower is not a state for you to really use it, because you just don't know what's going on there. Then the door broke while we were there, of one of the showers, so couldn't even use that shower. Then we had a line of people now having one shower and one bath, and there's like, what, 60 of us there. If anything, I've never been against public facilities. Like I said, the nurses have always treated me well, because I go there humbly with respect, and you understand when a nurse loses their cool, because you see how much they go through. But that hospital needs, guys, it just needs a whole breakdown in facility, in resources, in staff. There is no way you can get someone who's going there to give birth and they're there for 3 to 4 weeks with nothing. I gave birth because I fought, because I did something, because I called and I got complaints and everything. But there are others who I got that they were there before me. One was going on to 1 month of being there, just waiting to give birth, and there's nothing. And the things you see and your mental state. I mean, by the time I gave birth, I was so tired. I was just like, let's just get out of here. And it takes away that moment of, you know, bonding. And of course, when you give birth in a public facility, no one is gonna come and take your baby and wash your baby for you. No, girl. The baby's put here under your arm, on the bed. You wake up, you figure out breastfeeding. They help you a little bit. I remember I woke up at 4 a.m. after giving birth to clean myself up, because I was a bloody mess. Wipe my baby, put on Vaseline, put her in nice clothes, and figured out the whole breastfeeding thing again. And as soon as you get this a certain injection you get, but as soon as 8 a.m. comes up, you taken out of your bed, girl. Everybody off your beds, walk and go sit on the chair on the other side, because new people are coming for these beds. You don't have beds for you, so you sit on the chair the whole day after giving birth, told to walk up and down as much as you can while they try and find a bed for you. A bed was found for me around 5 p.m. after giving birth. I was taken to that separate room. For those usually are given to people who are low risk and can literally self-maintain themselves, because I was actively walking up and down. I took Kriya, a duk, and I lifted up my stomach a little bit and I tied it back so that my womb could get that breathing air and it didn't feel as painful. So day 2 I was out. After giving birth, they're like, next day, "Hi girl, when are you ready?" Go home. And I was relieved. I had nightmares for 2 weeks after I got home. It was a lot. And I feel for all pregnant women right now who are going to use public facilities. It's hard. The things you read in the newspaper, they're not dramatic. They are what they are. They really are what they are. It really is like that there. The staff are under-resourced. For me, it's not a staff thing. The doctors and the nurses that I've come across, I've never been treated badly by them. It's just the circumstance of it being under-resourced and understaffed. And guys, that's that. I don't want to make this any longer than what it is, but that's my birth story, and that's how I gave birth in a public facility. And yeah, guys, that's me. I'll end this video on that note. Thank you so much for watching and the support so far, and we'll see each other again next week. Okay, same time, same place. Bye.